Today, we profile Reverend Billy Graham. His rise to national prominence began in 1949 with a series of revival meetings, often referred to as crusades, in Los Angeles. Over 7 decades, he preached in more than 185 countries and territories, addressing an estimated 215 million people in person. He was America's most famous and beloved televangelist and its Protestant patriarch. He was friend, pastor, and counselor to 12 U.S. presidents, from President Truman to President Obama. Born on November 7th, 1918, in Charlotte, North Carolina, William Franklin Graham Jr. grew up on the family dairy farm during a time when the United States was undergoing rapid social and economic change. His early life was grounded in Presbyterian traditions, but it was a personal conversion experience at a revival meeting in 1934 that set him on the path toward a life of evangelism. Graham attended several institutions, including Bob Jones College and Florida Bible Institute, now Trinity College of Florida, before graduating from Wheaton College in Illinois in 1943. At Wheaton, he met Ruth Bell, whom he later married. Their partnership became central to his life and ministry, providing stability as he traveled extensively. After college, Graham briefly served as a pastor, but it quickly became clear that his calling extended beyond a single congregation. The first Billy Graham Crusade was held from September 13th through 21st, 1947, at the Civic Auditorium in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and was attended by 6,000 people. Graham was 28 years old then and would rent a large venue, such as a stadium, park, or even a street. He would preach the gospel and invite individuals to come forward. Such people were called inquirers and were given the chance to speak one-on-one with a counselor to clarify questions and pray together. The inquirers were often given a copy of the Gospel of John or a Bible study booklet. His rise to national prominence began in 1949 with a series of revival meetings in Los Angeles. These gatherings, often referred to as crusades, drew massive crowds and widespread media attention. What distinguished Graham from many other preachers of his time was his ability to connect with diverse audiences. His messages were simple, direct, and focused on the themes of sin, redemption, and salvation through faith in Jesus Christ.
Can you prove God exists?
He avoided overly complex theology,
I see the birth of a baby.
instead emphasizing personal transformation and a direct relationship.
Gary
with
Player
God.
was telling us yesterday how he
His
saw
preaching
the birth
style,
of his last child.
combined with his tall stature and commanding voice,
And he said, as I watched
made him a
that, I
compelling
knew
figure in large
that there
venues.
had to be a God.
Graham was also a pioneer in using media to spread his message. He embraced radio, television, and later satellite broadcast to reach audiences far beyond the physical locations of his crusades. His organization, the Billy Graham Evangelistic Organization, produced programs, publications, and films that extended his influence worldwide. Over 7 decades, he preached in more than 185 countries and territories, addressing an estimated 215 million people in person. Graham's lifetime audience, including radio and television broadcast, likely surpassed billions of people. As a result of his crusades, Graham possibly preached the gospel to more people, live and in person, than anyone in the history of Christianity. Graham was on Gallup's list of most admired men and women a record 61 times. Throughout his career, Graham maintained relationships with 12 U.S. presidents, serving as a spiritual advisor to leaders from Harry S. Truman to Barack Obama. His proximity to political power brought both influence and criticism. While he sought to provide moral guidance rather than partisan support, some critics argued that his closeness to figures like Richard Nixon blurred the line between religion and politics. Graham later expressed regret about certain political entanglements, emphasizing that his primary mission was spiritual rather than political. In addition to his preaching, Graham took notable stands on social issues. During the Civil Rights Movement, he insisted on desegregating his crusades, even in the American South. During the 1953 rally in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Graham tore down the ropes that organizers had erected to segregate the audience into racial sections. In his memoirs, he recounted that he told two ushers to leave the barriers down, or you can go on and have the revival without me. During a sermon held at Vanderbilt University in Nashville on August 23, 1954, he warned a white audience. 3/5 of the world is not white. They are rising all over the world. We have been proud and thought we were better than any other race, any other people. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that we are going to stumble into hell because of our pride. He invited Martin Luther King Jr. to join him in ministry efforts and supported racial equality at a time when such positions were controversial amongst many white evangelicals. While he was not as publicly active as King in civil rights protest, his actions nonetheless signaled an important shift within evangelical communities. Graham's personal integrity was another key aspect of his legacy. Early in his career, he and his associates established the Modesto Manifesto, a set of ethical guidelines designed to prevent financial, sexual, and spiritual misconduct. These standards helped him avoid the scandals that affected many other religious leaders and contributed to his reputation as a trustworthy figure. During the Cold War, Graham became the first evangelist of note to speak behind the Iron Curtain, addressing large crowds in countries throughout Eastern Europe and in the Soviet Union, calling for peace. As he aged, Graham gradually stepped back from public ministry, with his final large crusade taking place in 2005 in New York City, which was his 417th live crusade. Even in retirement, he remained a respected voice in American religious life. On his 95th birthday, November 7th, 2013, he gave his last sermon entitled, My Hope, America. He passed away on February 21st, 2018, at the age of 99. Billy Graham's legacy is complex, but undeniably significant. He helped define modern evangelicalism, expanded the use of media in religious outreach, and influenced both religious and political spheres. For many, he was a spiritual guide who offered hope and clarity in uncertain times. For others, he represented the challenges of balancing faith with public influence. Regardless of perspective, his impact on global Christianity and American culture remains profound and enduring. Here are some quotes by Billy Graham. "My home is in heaven. I'm just traveling through this world. God never takes away something from your life without replacing it with something better. The will of God will not take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us. Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. We are not cisterns made for hoarding. We are channels made for sharing. When we come to the end of ourselves, we come to the beginning of God. Christ not only died for all, he died for each. Every day is a gift from God. What we do with it is our gift to him." Here is a Time magazine cover signed by Reverend Billy Graham. Billy Graham was one of the most influential religious figures of the 20th century, a man whose ministry reached billions across the globe over 7 decades and helped shape modern evangelical Christianity. That's the story of Reverend Billy Graham. If you enjoy these messages of inspiration and hope, please like, subscribe, and share them with family and friends. And until we meet again, please remember, with God, anything is possible. Spoke.